One person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent.
He would do a lot of foul shit. Like, behind the scenes, he would do some foul shit. Like,
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
Puffy was playing with your booty in Miami.
Now, Fifth, when you continuously call Puff gay, does that affect your relationships in Hollywood?
I don't call him gay. I said,
Let me read it, Fifth.
Oh my God.
Sorry I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow. Dinner Thieves in theaters January 19th.
That's why he says things. He doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he says something fabulous and he goes, yo, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What is he talking about?
Instant is going off.
When people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable. Like, he said something to me one time, a long time ago, at Chris Lighty's wedding. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of no, dude, take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day?
I'm just not with all that flicky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
The moment 50 Cent entered the courtroom, Diddy's reaction was impossible to ignore. His eyes widened, jaw tightened, and his hands trembled beneath the table. Gone was the calm, confident figure the public had known for years. By the third day of the trial, things had clearly changed. According to multiple witnesses, Diddy appeared visibly shaken, especially after 50 Cent made a bold, public show of support for Cassie. What followed stunned everyone in the room and could mark a major turning point in this case.
And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. The other end of that, every person who has tried to speak out about this, who has tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry, the attacks that people face from the media if they try to speak out, is always the same. They're called crazy. And an example of one such individual who went through those sorts of attacks is the actor Orlando Brown. He was on Disney, and I remember everyone telling us that he was totally insane and deranged when he was saying a lot of things that at the time sounded crazy, particularly about Diddy. Take a listen.
The requirement is you gotta say no to Diddy. If it's new booty in the building, you know he's gonna get it.
Don't take your girlfriend to a Diddy party.
You can take the but he won't you.
Diddy, to me, is the fall guy. We are still seeing a major effort to protect the big names, just like with Jeffrey Epstein.
Tell him the story.
Tell him the story. So we talking about rumors, right?
Yeah.
And we, when you Google his name, there's a rumor that pops up that he was Diddy's boy toy.
Oh shit!
Right.
Wait, so this is
so Charlamagne said
It's not true, but I told after he brought up this stuff with you, I said, you know what 50 gonna say when he meets you?
Oh no, I don't know that was going on.
You know,
I can't wait to run into him again.
See, what you gonna say to him?
Puffy was playing with your booty in Miami.
You know what 50 gonna say to you when he sees you.
What?
I heard Diddy touch your butt.
Yeah. Wait till I see him. Wait till I see him. I'm like, yo. Yeah.
What's happening with Puffy? I know you're not really tapped in, but what
the last thing I saw was like a guy there. He was like, yo, he like pushed me into the truck. It really hurt. And he sodomized me. Like he sodomized me. I was like, yo, look. I could find other things to do for money.
For over 3 decades, Sean Diddy Combs built his legacy on control, especially when it came to his public image. We've seen him glide across red carpets with charm, breeze through tough interviews, and stay cool through controversy. Whether it was a business setback or swirling rumors, Diddy always knew how to keep his composure. Take that 2017 interview. When asked about whispers of payouts to former employees, he simply smiled, adjusted his jacket, and shifted the conversation without missing a beat. Or remember when his restaurant venture closed in 2012. He showed up to the final night like it was all part of a bigger plan. That was the Diddy the world knew, flawless, unbothered, untouchable. Behind the scenes, though, it was a different story. Sources close to him say he had a 12-person team dedicated solely to shaping his image. From scripted responses to hours of mirror practice before interviews, every public moment was rehearsed. One former assistant even revealed that Diddy worked with a media trainer who ran mock crisis drills to help him maintain his calm in any situation. But former employees quietly shared a more troubling side, stories of angry outbursts and private meltdowns. There were two versions of him, said one former Bad Boy record staffer. The polished public figure, and the one who exploded behind closed doors. Still, those stories never gained traction. No one powerful ever confirmed them until now. Just days before the trial, cracks in that well-maintained image began to show. Cameras caught Diddy snapping at a fan outside his lawyer's office. Then came a tense press conference where he gripped the podium so tightly his knuckles turned white. Small signs, but for someone who spent millions controlling every detail, they stood out. PR strategist Tanya Rodriguez explained it this way: public personas are like fortified walls. But pressure builds, and once those walls crack, they fall fast. That's exactly what courtroom observers say happened on day 3 of the trial. According to witnesses, Diddy lost control. His leg shook so violently it moved the defense table. He interrupted his own lawyer 3 times, each one louder than the last, until the judge had to intervene. The breaking point came when he suddenly shouted during testimony, prompting a stern warning from the bench. For the first time in 30 years, the calm and calculated Diddy the public had always seen was gone. Then, just as he tried to regain control, the courtroom doors opened, and in walked the last person he ever expected, 50 Cent. His longtime rival. A powerful figure with public support and a history of holding grudges. Witnesses say the moment 50 entered the room, Diddy's face turned pale. That single entrance may have changed everything, not just in the courtroom, but in the legacy of a man who once seemed impossible to shake. The rivalry between 50 Cent and Sean Diddy Combs spans nearly 2 decades. This isn't your typical music feud. These two have gone head-to-head for years, and not just with words. From the early 2000s, 50 Cent has made no secret of his opinion about Diddy, calling him out in interviews, radio segments, and especially on social media. There was the time 50 suggested Diddy had knowledge about Biggie's death. Or when he stirred up controversy by making deeply personal remarks about Diddy's private life. Over time, this wasn't just seen as entertainment. It became something far more personal. So when 50 Cent walked into the courtroom on day 3 of the trial, dressed in a sharp black suit and his trademark sunglasses, the room fell completely silent. Court reporter Janelle Martin described it best. You could hear the hum of phones in people's pockets. It was that quiet. At that moment, Diddy was mid-conversation with his attorney. He stopped, looked up, and, according to multiple eyewitnesses, his face went from confusion to disbelief, and then to something that looked like genuine fear. No one had expected 50 Cent to appear in person. Sure, he'd been vocal online since Cassie filed her lawsuit, most notably when he posted the hotel video allegedly showing an altercation between Diddy and Cassie in 2016, with a pointed caption that drew millions of views. He'd followed that up with multiple posts hinting that he had more to reveal. What wasn't public knowledge until now is that 50 had reportedly been in quiet contact with Cassie's legal team for weeks. A source close to the case shared that 50's team reached out shortly after the lawsuit was filed. He believed Cassie's story, they said, and wanted to offer support however he could. Once inside the courtroom, 50 quietly took a seat in the back, but the impact was immediate. The entire atmosphere shifted. People turned back and forth between the two men like they were watching a live showdown. Diddy tried to stay focused, but sketches from the courtroom show him repeatedly looking over his shoulder toward 50. Then came the unexpected twist. During the lunch recess, 50 Cent stepped outside and addressed the crowd of reporters gathered at the courthouse. Not only did he express public support for Cassie, he made a major announcement. Through his G-Unity Foundation, he was committing funds to help support her legal battle. I'm backing the people whose voices are too often ignored, he said. This isn't about old rivalries. It's about doing what's right. Inside the courtroom, the reaction was swift. Several people described Diddy slamming his fist on the defense table, knocking over a glass of water. His legal team tried to calm him, but he was clearly shaken. Security even moved slightly closer to his side of the room. And then, the timing took an even sharper turn. As tensions hit their peak, the prosecution made an announcement. They were about to introduce new evidence they claimed would directly contradict Diddy's earlier testimony. As the screens lit up around the courtroom, everyone held their breath. What came next, witnesses said, no one was ready to see.
He would do a lot of foul shit. Like behind the scenes, he would do some foul shit. Like hating on, like doing things with people I'd done business with that he done business with. He would say shit that I was like, he said that to you?
Right.
I was like, yeah, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and niggas don't know what they like till they see somebody with it. So they want the girls after you're done with them and shit.
Yeah. Leftovers.
Yeah.
You take your leftovers. A lot of niggas have my leftovers.
Cassie was not offended by what I was offended by. This is
wow, they found Kendrick and Wifey.
You know, that's obviously doing shopping. They got the same outfit.
Yeah, it's true. In public. Yeah, that's a nice shirt. That was a nice shirt. All right, so when he said the shopping line in real life, what did you say?
I said, let me get away from him. Because it was like, he was like, yo, you hot now. Now we got to hang out now. Like, you know, like hang out.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know, maybe I'll take you shopping and I get you some flash and you could give me the hood shit. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because I'm going to mess up the wedding. I always say to myself, like,
it was someone's wedding?
It was Chris Lighty's wedding. It was in Miami. Nori's there. Nori knows this because I looked at him like, yo.
You being the only one calling this out.
I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long time.
They said you're a hater. They said you're crazy.
You do this, yeah. And now everybody's complaining. My ass is hurting. There's all this shit that's coming.
50, you can't make jokes about it.
No.
The internet might come for you, bro.
All I'm saying
is, might come for you.
You see it now. All of these complaints. People were damn. They were and pillaged. This was what was going on, right? And what do I get for I went through years of a hater. You're a hater. You want this and that. I'm just watching. Like I look at things and go, when you see the new lawsuit coming with Jay, the part with Jay, I go, oh shoot, like. Then I think about it, I go, that had to be there. So when I was saying that he was missing. He just wasn't actively being out there because they was dealing with that.
Wait, but do you think there's truth to the Jay thing? There's no way.
Know. Like that, look, you know what's like if you say, I have this thing where I'm conflicted when it takes you 20 years to remember something happened to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I go also 10 years, 20 years later, that comes back, and it's like all of Puff's problems are coming from the ministers touching little boys.
What you mean?
The laws are the way they are because
because of
the priests.
The priests touching little boys.
Yeah. Oh.
The tension inside the courtroom was already thick after 50 Cent's unexpected arrival, but what happened next took everything to another level. The energy was charged. Everyone could sense something major was coming. With a confident tone, the lead prosecutor stood and addressed the judge. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to introduce evidence labeled Item 47B. Immediately, confusion rippled through the defense table. Diddy's lead attorney stood up and objected, saying they had never received anything by that label during the discovery process. That's when it became clear.
How much is this guy trying to get?
I don't know. Like, it's a simple suit situation, but it's like
20 mil. I can say it. You still have to black his face out.
Yes.
You still have to mimic his voice because he's like,
but his voice wasn't even that different.
And a little deeper. I was like, almost like, no, that's you, young buck.
Yo,
I almost felt like it was him. I almost knew who it was. You know what I mean? I was like, nah. You heard what he just said, right? He's like, yo, certain things they let it go by because it's Puff. Like they would look, like he would say stuff, and it's like he wasn't like in the closet, he was like in the hallway. Now you see so much shit that you go, wait. No, this was visible.
He was in the hallway. We saw the video.
You see we saw that video. It comes out later. You're like, that's not the closet. That's the hallway. He didn't give a fuck. Like you can tell that he was already.
Nah, New York is dope. Because when Fab, he was like, yo, Fab, we ain't party. Fab was like, nah, we partying tonight.
He's like, no, like, but he didn't party.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, they let that one go. Like I had to say something about it later because I was like, oh, it was